In today's video, I am going to replace my 2x11 drivetrain with a 1x11 system. This is a great way to substantially reduce your bike weight, and it's a cheap upgrade. Let me introduce my bike first. I have a Specialized Epic Hardtail 2018. There is a link in the description with more detailed info about the bike. I will be using a 30-tooth chainring as a replacement. I purchased this from China and thought I will give it a try. The current drivetrain setup is the following: raceface 36-tooth/26-tooth chainrings, Shimano SLX cassette with 11-speed, 11-tooth/42-tooth. Let's weigh the bike first to see how much weight we can save after the conversion. Currently, the bike weighs 10.95 kilograms or 24.14 pounds. I am going to use the following tools: an 8mm Allen key, a soft mallet, a set of Allen keys, a wire cutter, a chain quick link removal and installation tool, and finally, a crank puller. I didn't have the exact model, so I improvised by using a screw and a washer as a replacement for this part of the tool. Be careful if you are doing the same thing, as the washer need to have the exact diameter as the cylindrical part of the tool, otherwise you won't be able to remove it, or you may damage your crank arm. Okay, now we are ready to rock and roll. Remove the chain from your bike. If you have a quick link, this is a pretty simple task. Otherwise you need a chain breaker tool to take your chain off. Remove the 8mm bolt that secure the crank arm and chainrings to the crank axle. Use the crank puller tool to disengage the crank arm from the crank axle. You may need to use a wrench, but in my case it came out pretty easy. Remove the small chainring from the crank arm. Remove the big chainring from the crank arm. Attach the new chainring to the crank arm. In my case, being a 30-tooth chainring, I only need to use the male parts of the screws, since this is a threaded chainring. However, if you use a bigger chainring, you may also need to use the female parts of the screws as well. Remove front derailleur cable. Unscrew the front derailleur bolt and remove front derailleur. If you have a seat tube mount for the derailleur, remove that as well using an Allen key. Reattach the screws, as they will protect your frame from dust and water, and also come in handy if you will mount a second bottle support or a pump support. Unscrew the front shifter bolt and remove the shifter, the cable, and the housing. Grease the crank axle and reattach the crank arm, gently tapping with a mallet. Reattach the 8mm bolt and screw to the manufacturer recommended torque specifications. Reattach the chain, and you are good to go. Let's check the weight savings. The bike is now 400 grams lighter. I would say that's not too shabby for such a cheap upgrade.